I'm going to run through the different demonstrations in emulation, and then I'm going to run them on the hardware just to make sure everything is fine. So Commodore 64 via its Easy Flash will take the build version. So I'm going to run the first one here, which should be the Archie RPG demo, and I can move around this one here in emulation, and then in the real hardware sending it to the Easy Flash, running it on the, there we go. I've changed the aspect ratio on the TV now so we can actually see the full picture without it being stretched. And if I use the joystick, then I can move around. This version has more sprites because it's stacking fewer sprites, so it's able to run more characters simultaneously. Okay, need to reset this now on the Commodore 64, and then I can run the next demo. The next demo is this one, which is the Arkanoid demo. Balls, and they bounce off the back quite nicely. And then if I run the same demo on the Commodore 64, here we go. You can see that quite nicely too. Press the fire button, there we go. I can move the bat around and the balls move around quite nicely. Everything seems to be working so far. So let's reset the Commodore 64 Easy Flash cartridge again. And then the next demo is the animation demo. This one uses the character screen and the tile screen together with a rudimentary raster split up at the top for the different background color, which is hidden behind some black characters. Black character screens in the front actually hide the scrolling background with the other ships, otherwise they'd be visible. So if I run this now on the hardware, should start, and there we are. Same code, same visual aspect to the demo. I've just reset it now, so that's stopped animating. The next one is using the complex timer to rewrite the sprite registers in the interleaved time here, which means that we can have multiple copies of the sprite registers going down the screen and being displayed, which is typically multiplexing. And the same demo works on the Commodore 64. So if I run that on C64, there we go. Using the same timer to gauge what raster line it's on, which works really quite well. Next demo is using some Turrican Graphics. Here we go. There we are. And I can run around here. The only difference between this demo and the one on the C64 is that it doesn't use Mode 7 graphics for the clouds in the foreground. So these clouds that you can see floating around, this very small one, if I move to the left it gets bigger and bigger. That's Mode 7 scaling, but this hardware revision doesn't have that, although it thinks the cloud layer is just basically transparent, because that's what I told it to do. And then I can run around, I can jump around. There we go. And that works really quite well. I can float all the way up here because the jump is actually not really properly colliding with the background, so to say. So I can scroll around all over the place. I can see other parts of the level. I can fall down. It scrolls really quite quickly as well. Okay. And the last demo that I want to try out is some R-type graphics from the arcade. That should look like that on the real hardware, which is what we're going to see. So if I run it on the C64, blink, and we can see here that it looks basically the same, which is really cool. So I'm really quite happy with all of these demos so far. The hardware seems to be behaving itself quite well. It's amazing what a few chips can do, which is why the old arcade games were so much better than what was in the home computer market at the time. It was a while before the arcade and the home market had comparable hardware, back in the day, many years ago.